CDF, I am delighted. And as my colleague has said, if there is a great injustice that has happened, which we are righting, is taking for granted men and women who wake up every day, who sleep after we have all gone to bed to ensure that this country stays safe. And as Wanjeri has said, we take peace for granted. And for a long time, our men and women in uniform serve this country without thinking about what is in it for themselves. They serve this country because they love it. And when they retire, they have nothing to show for that service that they did to this country. And it's a very emotional day because this matter of housing, we have really not contextualized it. In retirement, the most expensive or the biggest expense for a retiree is rent. But now they have no income. And as they draw down on their pension, which is not equivalent to what they were earning, they suffer what is called old age poverty. So, and a lot of people keep on asking the question, why are you people obsessed with this housing agenda? And one thing that they don't realize, and why are you even obsessed with ownership? They don't understand the dignity of ownership. And CDF, the lower ranking members as they join the force, this day what it signifies is a great opportunity for them to start owning at a very young age. And they pay something so little, but pay for an asset, one of the few assets that appreciates in value. Housing will always appreciate in value. And number two, because as much as you will ask for salary increases, there is so much you can be able to do on salary increase. But one other thing about ownership of a house is that the day you own a house, or at least you have a house that you are paying towards, your conversation changes because you can walk to Anastasia and ask for a facility, not just against your income, but against your asset. And you will draw down on money and you can start a side business. And that side business will supplement your income. And that is, ladies and gentlemen, one of the ways of creating wealth for our people. So housing is not just about four walls and a roof.
Members of the Affordable Housing Board, MDKCB, senior officers, today is a great day, CDF and PS, because I think when I was a member of parliament, I had mortgage at 3%. Many people in the public service have mortgage at 3-4%. When I came in here, I wondered why KDF officers, men and women, don't have the 3% allocation from government. So CDF, this is a great day. I wondered, of all people who serve our country, how comes our men and women in uniform don't access this allowance? So CDF, this is a great day. We are dealing with a historical deficiency that has been resolved today. And also CDF, under your leadership and in this ministry, and with the support of the PS Housing, we have started one of the biggest housing program ever experienced in the history of KDF. But as CDF, you said, this is institutional housing. We are now graduating from institutional housing because our men in uniform will stay in those houses when they are serving. But now we have gotten to the next level of getting them houses when they leave during their service and when they leave their service. And that is why this is a significant development. Allow me also to thank CDF, allow me to thank PS Housing, because we have two phases of housing that are going on. We have the first phase of 3,000 units that are complete, practically complete. We have the second phase that is progressing very well. And PS has committed that he is going to support us in the third phase that is under negotiation. This is great. And as the CEO of KCB said, these are men and women in uniform who do so much and sometimes less celebrated. Less celebrated. And this country has a responsibility to celebrate these men and women. At the very least, their welfare of them as individuals, but also their families. So I really want to thank CDF, the leadership we have offered on this, PS Housing, and the entire team for working together to realize this very significant milestone for our men and women in uniform.
Pleasure to join you today for this very, very momentous occasion, very historical and very, very consequential for our defense forces. Today we shall witness the signing of Memorandum of Understanding, as has been stated, and the onboarding of Kenya Defense Forces on the civil service mortgage scheme that will be executed through the support of the Kenya Commercial Bank. And Madam Anastasia, we really appreciate the group CEO, Paul Russo. I've had various conversations with him, and I know, again, if it was not for his passion as well, this may not have happened. So we really thank him, and we understand why he may not be here today. So this marks another important step in our continued effort to strengthen the welfare of our men and women of the Kenya Defense Forces who continue to serve bravely and with commitment for this country. The profession of arms demands sacrifice. Our personnel serve wherever duty calls them, often away from their families and under very challenging conditions. So as leaders, we have a corresponding responsibility to ensure that those sacrifices are matched by a genuine commitment to welfare of those that serve under us in this country. So we look forward that once we take care of the welfare of our personnel, it not only strengthens themselves, but also the mission readiness and achievement of the defense forces. And as you are aware, in our business, we provide a good or a service called national defense. That is the business that we are in. In that regard, therefore, housing is one of the clearest ways we fulfill that responsibility. A decent home gives families stability. It provides the peace of mind to the service member to the officer and allows them to focus fully on the mission. Simply put, our people know their families are secure. Once they know that, they serve with greater confidence and commitment. The Kenya Defence Force has continued to improve the issue of housing, and in partnership with various agencies, both public and private sector. And we are very grateful for the leadership and understanding of his Commander-in-Chief, our President, and the housing schemes and the housing initiatives you're seeing are possible only because of his commitment. So we are very grateful. And you remember earlier this year, His Excellency launched the first housing units that were delivered through the PPP initiative, the 500 units, modern units, I must add, at Roysambu, which are now occupied by our personnel from all the three services. Also, housing is under construction. In fact, PS, I was in Nanyuki recently, and when those houses, I would see some houses under construction, I didn't know. And then I realized these are ours. Yes. But again, go to Kahawa Barracks, go to Embakasi, go to Langata, and somebody who had not been to Langata Barracks recently visited Langata Barracks, a veteran, and called me. I said, General, what is this magic you people are working? Nikamwambia naulize Bwana Hinga, mimi sijui. So really, we are very grateful for the support under the leadership of His Excellency the President, and very dynamic leadership working under him, and for the support that you have given this initiative. So we recognize that many of our soldiers, sailors and airmen, as well as the defense civilian staff, aspire to home owns beyond the service, the institutional housing that are provided. I was mentioning earlier that ourselves, most of the senior leadership, when we joined, in those years, we would hear that, and when we interacted with our colleagues from other countries that had this initiative at that time, and we are talking almost 40 years ago. So you can imagine where we would have been. A lot of opportunities have been missed, but as you said, this is about correcting a very big injustice and missed opportunity. And we are grateful that even now, under this scheme, those recruits that are in Defense Forces Recruit Training School, those who will pass out of the college next month, they are able to afford, at least they can start immediately. Yeah, and this is what I think all of us in uniform would have wanted, but it's never too late. We have woken up, and the day is ahead of us. We just need to now move forward and take advantage of this, and therefore I know it will be a great success. So the Defense Forces, this mortgage scheme gives our personnel the practical and affordable opportunity to own a home, whether purchasing a completed affordable housing unit, which has been well marketed here, or building personally owned land, or completing an existing housing project. Our personnel will have access to financing tailored realities of their housing needs. So together with the continued expansion of housing within our cantonments, This initiative gives our people greater choice and greater confidence as they plan for their future. This milestone has been made possible through partnerships, as has been highlighted here. The ministry, under the leadership of our CS, Madam Soipantuya, PS Mariro, the service commanders, and the leadership in its entirety. Yeah. So, and of course the State Department for Housing and the Civil Servants Housing Scheme Fund. But importantly, Kenya Commercial Bank. Asanteni sana. And I said clapping is allowed. So this partnership is great and it's going to really make a difference and revolutionize the welfare system within the defense fraternity. I want to encourage all our personnel who qualify to take advantage of this opportunity to learn about the products, and there shall be an elaborate program to ensure that we sensitize and we educate all our personnel, and therefore again the same team will be able to operationalize this, and as ACDF has said, and the service commanders and the sergeant majors, defense forces sergeant majors and the service sergeant majors are here because of the importance of this opportunity to our personnel. So I want to encourage that we do as much as possible to sensitize and provide all the information so that our personnel can take advantage of this situation. It is, as again, not possible to understand how everybody in government has been enjoying this, and Kenya Defence Forces, we were out struggling with commercial loans to build. It has been a task. Personally, I can say I know what it has meant to work towards owning a home. If this was possible those days, probably sasa tungekuwa pia sio ile ya kuishi tu wewe ni landlord pia. Si ni kweli? So I know a lot of our personnel will be able to take advantage of this. So I want to urge the directorates that are responsible for coordination of this to ensure that everybody is onboarded and that we all benefit from this program, starting with the recruits and the cadets that are about to come out of college. So ladies and gentlemen, today's event is more than just housing financing. It is also about giving our personnel greater confidence for tomorrow as they serve this country. It is about strengthening also the military families who at the moment face a lot of pressures, and financial pressures is one of the major issues. And one of the initiatives why we came up with our own circle is to be able to now address the issues of our personnel being able to access affordable credit to develop themselves as they serve the country. So this opportunity really means a lot, and I know those of us that are about to exit the service will wish we could come back again. Lakini our time has passed, but we have a responsibility as leaders to really give opportunities to those that are coming. So this is about reaffirming a simple principle that institutions which asks its people to make extraordinary sacrifices must also do so, must do everything within its means to support them. So this is really an incredible manifestation of this. So this is how we will build among other initiatives, build a stronger Kenya Defence Forces, and that is how we shall build a strong nation. I want to say that it has taken not a lot of effort, I would say. It's just a lot of commitment and a lot of passion to unlock these opportunities for our defense forces. And therefore, again, thank you very much, PS. Thank you, KCB, for the partnership. And thank you, my staff, commanders, that have worked very tirelessly to make this a reality. God bless all of us.